Welcome to the sales training webinar. This is our sales room. This is the room where we collect the money. It's not necessarily the room where we make the money. We're going to talk a lot about our different sales strategies that we have here, different products that we sell, and how we get our averages so high. One thing right now is that my senior sales, the sales room right now is set for a senior sales. So when we do like a children's session or a family session, we do reset this room completely differently. We have different products that we offer for the different sessions. I don't want to have a bunch of like photo purses and different things like that I'm not going to sell for a senior. They're going to be in here kind of distracting and taking away from the valuable real estate that I have for the products that I want to sell here. This camera right now, we're shooting with an ultra wide angle lens, so things are a little bit distorted in the background. The picture over there, the girl on the chair, that is a 24 by 30 picture. I do not have, for a senior setup in this room, I do not have 30 by 40s on display. We do have some 30 by 40s out in the gallery right here of senior pictures, but I could probably count on, probably two fingers the number of 30 by 40s that I sold of seniors last year. That's just not a size that we commonly sell. We sell a lot of 24 by 30s and 20 by 24s. That's a little bit more normal for us. Some people, they kind of laugh when they see the 30 by 40 of a senior and think, oh, there's nowhere in my house that I would put that. I honestly would rather sell them the 30 by 40 of the family and some other images like that too, or our other products that we sell that cost just as much money as a 30 by 40. I would rather sell those because they're easier to display, there's less objections to them, and we'll talk about objections, a lot of objections that come up in the sales process. So anyways, that's a 24 by 30. That's a 16 by 20, that little dinky little thing right here with the twilight kind of deal. The big one right here is a 24 by 24, and then we have some other products here that I'm going to show you, and we'll go through and talk about them. A 16 by 20 that's framed and matted, and a 20 by 24 frame in the bottom, all part of our upgrade stuff that we offer. Before I talk about really what we do in this room, the sales room, I want to talk to you about all the sales that we do prior to us walking into this room. There is so much involved in the selling other than just when they sit down in here and you expect them to break out their checkbook and pay you some money. There's so much more involved, especially stuff ahead of time. So even before we get into this room, we are constantly selling to our clients. We're selling to them while we're photographing. We're mentioning products like this image, this series of images is going to work well in this type of product. We're talking to the mom about our senior albums that we sell. Most parents, when they walk in here, they're assuming, if they've not been through this process before for senior pictures for another one of their kids, and especially if it's not been here at our studio, then they really don't know what to expect. In their mind, they're thinking they're going to come in and buy some 8 by 10s, some 5 by 7s, and some wallets. And they might get one of those like proof folio things like they had for their senior pictures. And in their mind, that's what they're expecting, and that's what they think that they're here to do, because that's what they went through 20 years ago or 30 years ago, whatever it was. Or if they had an older sibling, if they had another child that came in and instead of coming to us, they went to just the contract studio. Maybe that's what they did get, was 8 by 10s, 5 by 7s, maybe a folio, and then of course wallets. So it's our job to kind of explain to them that we sell a lot of different things other than that, and we do have some collections that take care of what they're coming in to need with that. But we want them to want all of our other products. And once you see, if you see one of those generic, and we actually have one, we don't have it out on display, but if they see an 8 opening folio, I actually don't put pictures in this. I don't want them to fall in love with this whatsoever. So the worse I can make it look, the better. So if they talk about a folio or something, I'll break this out and show them, oh, yeah, we could still do something like that. They would, then we would show them this. Or we would pull them out like a flush mount folio that shows like a different design with stuff that's going on inside there. All kinds of different images and graphic layouts. Which would you rather have, old school or new school? Well, obviously this one costs more money, but if we get them wanting the product, it doesn't matter how much it costs. So anyways, we're talking to mom about these types of things. While we're photographing the senior, we're doing our smiley faces stuff. We're telling them, these pictures are going to go in a multi-opening frame product that we sell. They would have walked by it when they went in the hallway into the camera room. This happens to be what we call our eclectic frame. This is what we love to do our goofy faces with, because we can put regular expressions in here too, along with the goofy stuff. If you're selling products like this, and something that I learned from my friends in sales, is that when we sell these products like this, these multi-image frames, it's one outfit per frame. Okay, don't let them mix 5 different outfits. They have 5 different poses that they liked and different things. Well, first of all, it looks terrible in a frame together. those 5 outfits, you couldn't wear those pants with that shirt, with the, with those skirt and that hat. You couldn't do that all together because it would look terrible. So why do we as photographers try and think that, oh, I'm going to sell this one product to them and they can incorporate all the things that they love in one thing, but it's going to look like complete crap. I don't want to do that. That's not something that we do here at the studio. So it's one, for multi-image frames, it's one outfit that gets laid out in there. Same thing, this one that's on the table right here, I'll hold that up in just a second. So while I'm photographing them, these are going to go good in these, and we don't even sell these goofy pictures. They cannot buy them alone. While we're photographing it, it's an extra part of the session, and we just tell them that this is, for a product. We photograph it specifically for a product for them. Once they buy the product, then if they want to do some wallets of their goofy pictures, they can do that. Or if they buy our digital album, we'll break out an album, wish I had the one I wanted to show you, that has all of the goofy faces in it and show them the design for it. Well, this one probably has it too, but so we would just have the different faces that are in there and lay that all out like that, and then let them, if they buy the album, they can do those things. I take those albums back to Mom and actually show them to her while I'm photographing the senior. I've got her flipping through some of these custom albums. She's looking at them going, wow, this is really cool, this is really neat. I hope we could do something like this. Or once they see the layout to it, it's not like a regular album. We offer the peel and stick book with one of our packages. It's just like 1 5x7 per page. It's 20 pages, so it's 20 5x7s that go inside of there. We do offer that, and if they want that, they can get it. But once I show them, how uncool this is compared to the multi-image layouts, they're going to want that. Our prints on metal that we get from H&H, when they just hang on chain here, and it's just something that we just have in here for seniors. We have other ones that we can hang up and use for the children's sessions if that's what we want to try and sell. Gallery wraps. Most people, us as photographers, we know what a gallery wrap is. My bad. The client has no idea what a gallery wrap is. So if we just see the word gallery wrap next to a price of a picture in a price menu, it doesn't mean anything to them. It just means this is a lot more expensive because it's called something different. So you have to have this stuff printed for them to see. Once we show them, well, you're going to save some money because there is no frame. There's no custom framing involved in it. We do 100% framing here, so they're not really saving money on anything for us. And I actually would prefer to sell a framed portrait instead of a gallery wrap anyways. Just my own personal opinion, I like them better. This is another multi-image frame. This is our 3-opening frame. And once again, same outfit in the frame. We don't do 1, 2, 3 different things. If you notice, I don't have any 11x14s hanging anywhere in here. Once again, I know some of that stuff looks a little bit smaller because of the lens that we have on the video camera. If they ask me what an 11x14 is, I just break out our 11x14 album and say, oh, well, your wall portrait would be the size of this right here. And then just show them an 11x14 in a book. 11x14 for us is not a wall portrait. It's not going to hang on their wall. Even if they do decide to buy it, we do automatically frame everything 11x14 or larger. But we go ahead and automatically put on the back of the 11x14 frame is a desk mount stand. We don't want them to hang, if they want to hang it on the wall, they're going to have to take that thing off of the back. We use the little easel mate, the little, what are these doohickeys? It's like a bent piece of metal that just screws on the back. Our framing company sells them to us, so it's no big deal. We sell individual 5x7 frames. These are great bonus items. Our framing company makes these for us out of scraps. Whatever they have left, they just put together different ones and send them off to us, and we sell them. We get them very cheap. They're usually around $10 a piece for our cost. It's a nicer designer molding. They're usually a little bit larger moldings, and they're just small frames. Very, very easy add-on sales. Okay, back to selling before they get in here. It's easy for me to get sidetracked. When we're in the camera room, I'm talking to them about everything that I'm doing, why I'm doing it, what it's going to be used for. This is going to look good in an album. This is going to look good in one of our multi-image frames. Even when we're out photographing seniors on location, we have the Hummer. We drive them all around. In the back of the Hummer, we have little TVs in the headrests. And we have a slideshow that we play them. They're a captive audience. Well, our slideshow talks about the products that we sell. It talks about our bonus items. How do we get bonus items for free? Or I show them a picture of something and say, you can earn this for free today. Ask us about how you can achieve this. And they're asking, well, I'm driving around from location to location, and they're asking me about these things that they're seeing. I'm a captive little, TV audience back there. It's mixed in with other pictures in the slideshow too, so it's not just, 100% sales pitch to them, but I want them to see everything that we have, and they honestly want to know what we offer. Could you imagine if you came here? Money's not an object, okay? You just want to get the best, and you want to purchase things that you love. And for a lot of our clients, that is the case, okay? They don't really care what the money is. So they come in, and I don't tell them about 10 cool things that we sell. I didn't even mention them because I think they spend enough money. They got up to the, over my average or my average level, so I kind of slowed the sale down. But then they go home, and they go to a friend's house that we photographed, and then they see a really cool product that we sold, like say our prints on metal, hanging in a cool kind of modern decor bedroom or something. And they're like, well, where did you get that from? And they're like, oh, we got that at Picture This. Well, don't you think that other client would be mad that we never asked them about this, and now their friends have something that's cooler than what they have, but they would have bought it. They gladly would have bought it and spent the money on it, but we never even asked them if they were interested in buying it. We never showed it to them. We just maybe expected that they looked at it in a price list. And we will talk a lot about price lists here in a little bit too. The way your price list is laid out is really important about how much money you can make in the sales room. So I don't want to talk about that right now. We'll get back to it, but we'll be discussing that. I mentioned briefly that we do frame sales on everything here. Every wall portrait, everything 11 by 14 or larger, even though we don't consider 11 by 14 wall portrait, everything from there or larger automatically comes framed. 8 by 10s I don't frame just because I don't know what they're going to do with them. They sometimes, if it goes to a grandma or grandpa, whatever their house looks like, they might have to get a frame that goes a certain style like that. We sell frames here. They can purchase them if they want to. If they know, black frame or whatever, you can have a standard thing like that. But we just took whatever our wall portraits were, because we used to sell squat on frames. Like maybe 5% of our customers would come in and buy frames. So that's it, okay? Let's add, if a 11 by 14 is going to get an A frame, which is a small cheap molding that we pay about $15. Actually, it's not even, I think it's $12.50 or something we pay for. So I go ahead and mark that up my 3 times, so $30, add $30 to the 11 by 14 sale price, and they get an A frame with it. If they want to upgrade to a B, C, or D, a little bit nicer molding, then they pay the difference of what our markup is on that. Otherwise, it's just built in. A 16 by 20 is an A or a B frame, their choice, and then it comes free. Oh, if they don't want it and they say, oh, we don't need that, we have our own frame, it's going to go in, how much money you're going to take off? Oh, we don't take anything off because it's a free frame. Like, how can I give you something for free and then give you money back for it? So it doesn't work that way. They always take it in the frame. We also tell them that we don't warranty any of our work. If they purchase, a wall portrait from us, a 16 by 20, they don't want it framed, and they take it somewhere else and they screw it up, or it gets wrinkled before they get it put into a frame, I'm not going to replace that for them. But if it's something that we framed here at the studio, we will automatically guarantee it for life, no matter what happens. I don't care if the kids are playing ball in the house, the basketball hits it and it falls off the wall and breaks into a million pieces and the picture's all scratched up. That's fine. We're going to replace it, no charge, no questions asked, as long as we did it here. Being a small business, you can take care of your customers any way you choose to. I just choose to take care of the ones that spend a little bit more money with me, and I try and talk them out of, if they don't want a frame, I just mention to them, that's fine, but we won't guarantee it if that's what you want, and there's no discount off of it. So all of our wall portrait prices have been inflated by what we want our frame sales to be. So a 20 by 24 is marked up probably $125 over what it used to be because I want that frame to go in there. And then it makes it a lot easier for your clients because everything they buy, it's going to go, have you ever seen a client take a 30 by 40 and thumbtack it to their wall? No, it's going to go in a frame. So they're going somewhere else to buy that frame. So they're spending their time to travel somewhere else. They're making a selection. Maybe they're getting it custom framed somewhere else, or they're just going to buy the frame and try and do it at home. It's never going to look as good. They're going to have dust on it, and they might not look at it, come back and look at it like 6 months later and say, boy, that looks like crap. That's not my fault that it got framed not so nice. Or maybe their friends are going to be over at their house and they're going to see our logo in the corner at this crappy frame. Where did that come from? Why does it look like that? And we did not do that. So everything is framed. If you're not selling frames right now, that's immediately you're going to raise your averages because people, if they want a wall portrait, they're going to buy it. If they want it, if they need it, they're going to buy it. So it doesn't matter if the frame's what the price is in the frame. The price is what the price is. That's it. People call, if they call in Price Shop, they don't call and ask you, how much is your 30 by 40? That is not the question that they ask. So it really doesn't matter. If they're going to buy it, they're going to buy it regardless. So back to the selling on location thing. When I'm in the car, like I said, they're watching the slideshow on there. When we photograph things, we're talking to them. Our mall display sells for us. We have products, unique products, on display in our mall display. Photo purses, things like that that people see and then immediately, oh, I want that, or I need that, or our multi-image books, or our folios, or custom folios that go in there. That's something that really stands out to people once they see that. The prints on metal, when you see these prints hanging by chains, people see that in a display somewhere, they're going to be like, I want that. I want to go there. Does Life Touch offer this? Maybe they do. I don't know. But they're not going to offer it with pictures like this on it. So we really push that and promote our products. One thing that I talk about with products you can only make a certain amount of money. If your average for, like, say, high school seniors is under $1,000, that's probably because you're not selling products. Okay, you can make about $1,000 on senior pictures selling 8x10s, 5x7s, wallets. It's not physically really possible to make more money than that. There's a limit. You know, if your package A is $500 and it's got, you know, 6 8x10s, 20 5x7s, and 100 wallets, and then your package B has 10 8x10s, 20 5x7s. You know, realistically, how many 8x10s and 5x7s does somebody need? Okay, wallets, you know, that depends on the size of the school and how popular the kids are and stuff like that. But 8x10s, if you sell somebody 50 8x10s, there's nothing, they can't do that. So your packages can't go up in price by just adding more of 8x10s, 5x7s, and wallets. So you have to be selling products. So if your product might be a wall portrait, so you're selling a large wall portrait, and then you're selling all that other stuff, so your averages are getting higher. If you're selling different products besides just wall portraits, like our digital senior albums, just by adding albums, you're probably going to raise your average $500 to $1,000 right there. So some of you, that might be double your average. Just because they have something that they need and they want, and then they still need that other stuff, which is the 8x10s and 5x7s. The multi-image frames. Possibly they cut down on some of your 8x10 sales, because mom was just going to put an 8x10 right here on the fireplace, but now instead she's going to put the multi-image, you know, frame or collection. So you might lose that, you know, a $59 or $69 what we charge for an 8x10. You might lose that one sale for that, but then you sold, you know, a $225 item in replace of it. So your averages are just going to continue to go up. Same thing with the 5x7s. You know, we'll sell this as an a la carte item. We will sell the individual frame if they want to, but it's honestly cheaper to go ahead and just add an additional 5x7 with the frame to the package if you want to do that. So you still got your 5x7s you can give away to grandma or whatever that don't need a frame. This is for you, for your desk at work or something like that. It's just one pose, whatever you want it to be, boom. Make it easy for them. A little bit about the slideshow. We do project here. This is the projection screen that's behind us. Projection is different than, well, first of all, don't do proofs. Proofs, they're old school, but everybody knows how to copy proofs. And even if you don't think they're copying your stuff, they do. Even here, you know, if somebody spends $3,000 or $4,000 on senior pictures, I'm not an idiot. Those people are still copying our stuff. Even our very, very best client, I know she copies our stuff. You know, but if she spent $13,000 on senior pictures, am I really that mad about it, that she's still copying the stuff and using it for whatever? Whatever, it's going to happen. You got to let the little stuff go. If you get mad at it every time you see kids that scanned your pictures and put them on Facebook, you're going to live a miserable life. Okay, you don't need to be in this business. These kids are too savvy. You know, they're even sitting here sometimes when I walk out of the room with their little cell phone cameras taking pictures of the photos on the screen. I learned now that when I walk out of the room, I take the pictures off of the screen there, so they can't do that anymore. You know, I had one group of people that asked, "Oh, can you excuse us for just a minute while we discuss this?" And I come back in, and the girl was standing up, you know, taking pictures close up as she could with her cell phone camera of every picture. Yes, I was really mad about her doing that. And they actually didn't buy that big of a package, and I know that she took pictures of poses that she never bought. We don't let anything go out of our door here unless it was a pose that was paid for. The more poses we sell, the more money that we make. So if I send them a proof book of everything, well then for whatever little fee they paid up front, they've got everything that I have to offer. Even though they might come back and spend $500 or $800 or whatever, that order is not as high as it would have been. So you can't talk to me about proof books are just as good. Yeah, but I get publicity or free advertising out of my proof books because the kids take them to school. Yeah, they take them to school and show everybody else how easy it is to copy your stuff, and look how good these wallets look, and this is, you know, you can go here and only spend $300 because that's all their session fee is. I get advertising at school. When kids buy, you know, a custom book and they take this around and they show all of their friends these kick-butt pictures that are in an album that we did for them, I get free advertising out of that too. I just don't get it immediately right off, you know, the bat. I get it, well, our finished books are ready like 2 weeks, okay? So I get it 2 weeks later than the guy that does proofs. Whoop-de-frickin-do, okay? My schedule, especially in the summertime, it doesn't matter. We're full enough, okay? I need to draw the line where I need to stop the free advertising that I get, and I just need to get clients in, and then my clients can do the advertising for me by showing off the products that we have that are different. And if you don't think that it's different, where a kid's sitting at school and he's got an 8-opening proof folio, or even just a generic little proof book with one picture on a page, and he's showing them to his friends, and then one of our kids pulls out this awesome flush mount book with just wacky stuff going on inside of it and cool graphic design, who looks better? You know, the guy that did the free cheap stuff, or us that invested the time and used nice, you know, products, and the kids can see the difference in it. So it is more beneficial to us. So I don't do proofs. It's projection. And we don't do TV screen projection. I don't consider if you're projecting on like a plasma, you know, we have a 42-inch plasma TV. We have a 42 plasma out here in the lobby. I play slideshows on it, and it's really nice for that. But for selling, it sucks. One day our bulb on our projector burned out. So I brought that 42-inch plasma TV and I set it down on this table. Well, I got news for you. You know, a 100-and-something inch screen up here compared to a 42-inch plasma, it is not the same effect whatsoever. Okay, it looked dinky, it looked cheesy, and even my client had never been here before, so they didn't know what they were missing out on. But I set it on this table, and I put the table against the wall, and you know, we turned the lighting down, and we had the fresh hot cookies off the Otis Spunkmeyer cookie oven here for our sessions, and turned down the lights, closed the doors, and here comes their slideshow presentation, and man, it sucked. It was just complete crap. Okay, here's why. The atmosphere that's going on in this room is what is going to make you more money in the end. So, if you can just blow them out of the ballpark by this, you know, huge theater picture, surround sound music, A to B fades, well, some of that stuff you can do on the TV set, but it's a little experience, okay? They're focused on this little thing instead of the massive picture on the wall and the emotional tension in the room. If I had to rate it, okay, if you could do proofs, let's give you get a 10% of their emotions because they look through the proofs. I very rarely did I ever have anybody cry when they used to look at the old school proofs that we did. Okay, they would never do that. But when you do projection, 95% of the people are in here crying, bawling. Even dads are crying on the couch. They're doing their, their secret ninja moves, trying to wipe their tears, or pretending like they're not crying and leaning this way and kind of wiping the tears. And it's dark in here, so that but I'm laughing at them because I can see what they're doing. But the emotional attachment to it is so much greater when you get the whole experience. And the big screen, the projector, is the whole experience. It's like if you watched whatever your favorite movie is. Okay, did you see it at the movie theater? In full boom, there it is. The music and you get tied up in the emotions and the atmosphere. And if you watch the same movie at home, or let's say you watch it on the your laptop computer while you're on the airplane, is it the same experience for you? No, it absolutely is not. If you change to projection, get yourself a projector. You can get them now like $700. Your averages are going to go up. Okay, 2 clients, 3 clients, that projector is paid for, guaranteed. As long as you're doing it right. There's a right way and a wrong way to do projection. If you're playing, it's as a senior, so her favorite music is Metallica. So I'm going to put some Metallica. I don't like Metallica, whatever her song is. That's a good example though. So it's just something that's it's boom boom boom, nasty guitar. It's first of all it'd make mom want to throw up. She doesn't want to hear that music. Actually, mom might be in a Metallica. That's a bad example. Whatever it is, that kind of music, make it Black Eyed Peas or whatever they like. That is not the cool music that you need to be playing for your slideshow. Okay, the senior might appreciate that, but mom will not. Whenever if they want to pick music for a slideshow or something like that, or if you think about it, whatever music the senior picks is not going to be the same music that a mom would pick. So we're going to play mom music, and I fought about this with another photographer one time because we used to play the hip and trendy music for their slideshow because I liked it. It had a beat to it. It was moving. That's what the kids dug. But it didn't mean squat to mom. Maybe she liked it. Some of the moms are a little bit cooler or hipper, whatever. That doesn't matter either. But we decided, the other photographers said, no, you need to play music that makes mom cry. Like, I can only imagine the Mercy Me song. That song will make mom cry every single time. The Forever Love by, what is it, FFH or something like that. That's another one. That will make mom cry. You need the music that is just going to take mom and just punch her in the gut when she sees the pictures of her baby all grown up. The whole emotional snowball that we're creating in here, everything is just building and building and building to what our sales session is going to be. So we don't show them just like 30 pictures. We show them usually like 100 to 120 images from their session are going to be in their slideshow. Why do you show them so many? Well, first of all, we use our pre-touch action that's in the Bling Bling book and the Anatomy of Cool book. It makes our images look professionally retouched, like we spent hours on them, and we only spend 15 seconds per image, and that's just the time it takes to process the picture in the computer. So all of our stuff is pre-touched like that. The zits are gone, the colors are enhanced and popped. They're looking at something, the photography, the lighting style that we used on their child, and we use different styles of lighting. That's how you sell things too, is by short light on some things, broad light, flat light, glamour light. Real moody, whatever you want to do. If everything is the same, my 2 lights are at 45-degree angles and all my lighting looks the same, it's nice and it's safe, great. But you're not encouraging them to buy anything else. So, here now they're making a decision between these 10 different pictures or whatever. They're all 10 totally different lit. So now it's harder. I still need this, and boy, I love the feeling of this one, so I got to get that one. And I like the, so you're not, the way that you shoot is also going to reflect into the things that happen in the sales room here. So back to the presentation. I was arguing with the guy at the music. I said we got to do make mom cry music, and that does. The effect of it is so much more with everything, the emotions that you're building, the dark room, the quality of the music. If you've just got some little speakers on a computer that's really crappy, it doesn't fly. It doesn't cut it. We installed the surround sound music in here in the room, and we have the subwoofer and all that stuff, but we don't have too much bass. We don't have the bass turned up too high, and we don't use too much of that kind of thumping music because it is more emotional, driving. And like I said, it's building up here. The pictures on the screen, the daughter that they've never seen so beautiful. One of our rock star tips is that we offer hair and makeup for seniors here. That also increase your averages just by offering hair and makeup. The kids that always look good, they're going to look good no matter what, if you did makeup or not. But all the other kids that just look average or plain or never do hair and makeup, they really need it done, and then they're going to buy more money. It's the first time Dad has ever looked at his daughter and been like, wow, she looks just like her mother. She is so beautiful today. She reminds me of my wife on my wedding day, or whatever else Dad is sitting there thinking or saying. If he says stuff like that in the sales session, your averages are going up. As opposed to if they don't have hair and makeup done, they just look the same as they do every other day. I don't care how good of a photographer you are. If they look like crap, there's not a whole lot that you're going to be able to do back there that's going to make them look a little bit less crappy maybe. But we want to make money, right? Offer hair and makeup. We worked out a deal with the hair salon where we just do some stuff on trade with them, so we don't pay money out of pocket to do hair and makeup. But even if I was paying $75 or $100, build that into my session fee, and that includes hair and makeup, and then your averages, the client is still paying for it, or meet them halfway on it or whatever. Maybe the hair salon, if you send them a bunch of people, they'll even give you like half price or something like that. Send them there, get that done. It adds to their overall experience here, because getting the hair and the makeup is fun, it's glamorous, it's like America's Next Top Model. They love these kinds of TV shows, and they get to experience it a little bit more. Hair and makeup will only increase your averages. And I was afraid to add it at first, because I thought, every once in a while I have people complain that they don't like their hair and their makeup. So if I'm offering it and I'm the one that did that service, I'm going to hear that objection a lot. And that was just my own head trash. And head trash is something we will talk about here today too. But I don't want that head trash, because I thought, they're going to complain about it left and right. It's just going to be an issue. It's not an issue now, so I'm going to do it. And then we offered it anyways, and you know what? I've never had one person complain about their hair and makeup. It's just the people that do it themselves that complain about their hair and makeup, because they know they should have done it better themselves. So seriously, we've not had one complaint ever about hair and makeup from our hair salon, from any of the seniors that we've sent there, or our models. It just doesn't happen. But here, I almost didn't add that to our services here, because I thought to myself, that's not going to work. So, I mean, everything that we do is all about making money. And we have like a comfort level. If you think about how you're trying to sell in here, what is the number that's in your head that you think that, okay, you've spent enough money, that's crazy, it's time, don't you realize you have to pay for college next year or whatever, you've spent too much money, I'm not going to sell you anymore. Where do you shut down in the sales room? And you need to know what that number is. You need to identify that you have a problem with a certain number, and then get past it. I used to have the problem, it was $1,000. If somebody spent over $1,000, I started shutting down, I stopped mentioning other products that we had to offer. I'd start giving them big discounts if they were adding more stuff still. Geez, okay, well, we could do that one for half off then too. And just, you started giving away the bank because you were uncomfortable with the amount of money that they were spending. Identify your number. If you want to pause this tape for a minute and write down your number and laugh at yourself, and don't lie to yourself. That doesn't do any good. Whatever your number is, maybe it's $500, maybe it's $1,000, maybe it's $2,000, maybe it's $5,000, maybe it's $10,000. More power to you if it's those higher numbers, because you definitely have your own head trash where you're like, you put your own value on what pictures should cost or how much money somebody should be spending on pictures, and you don't even know their situation. Maybe they don't drive as nice of a car, but they like to spend their money on their kids for other things like this that are more important to them. Maybe family pictures or senior pictures are more important to them than the other, than something else. So don't put your own values on other people. Don't just assume that. And we work hard to make money here at the studio, and I need to do that. I need to provide for my family too. I want to have, a lot of your clients probably live in nicer homes than you do. And then yet you're giving them discounts, or you're letting them talk you down on something because, but yet they're making more money than you. Come on, that's not fair. They know that you're a professional. You need to act professional, run your business like a professional, and try to get as much money as you can from each and every client. We're just maximizing our value. Everybody, no matter where they work, their boss is talking to them about sales averages and getting more money per client. And so why should you feel so bad about trying to do the same thing that they go out and do for their living? A lot of our clients do own their own businesses too. That's just just how it works, I guess. We have a lot of entrepreneurs in the area that are successful, and then there are clients here at the studio. We have sports figures, people that play for the the Colts football team, or the Indiana Pacers, or NASCAR Sprint Cup drivers that come here with their families. Indy's a big racing, we have a big racing thing here, so we're kind of known in the area for what we do, being more high end. But that's all just its appearance. It's the quality of our work, the type of products that we sell, the type of clients that you get, and then your clients talk to other people. It's just a huge snowball effect. And everything comes from, because I don't just sell 8x10s, 5x7s, and wallets. People want things that are different. What's the newest product that you came up with last year? What's the newest thing that you added to your price list? Is there anything? Did you? No, you just changed your prices. You didn't add any new products. Were you just at a trade show? Did you see the cool new jewelry that like H&H has out? That's going on our price list, and we're ordering samples of it. You have to have the physical samples. I always tell a story about how we used to have these flush mount books in our price list for a couple of years, and nobody was buying them for seniors. We would show them a wedding flush mount one and say it'd be like this, but with senior pictures in it, and nobody would buy it. But it was in the price list. We had one little page design in there with it, and it had it was $900, and nobody was buying it. And then one day we had a client came in and actually bought it. And then before that client came in to pick it up, we had their book here that I bring out during the sales session and show several other clients. This is what it is. This is great. And then we sold like, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7 in the first week that I had that thing here. I was like, oh my goodness. Having it in a price list doesn't mean squat. Even if they can read it and see it and look at it, doesn't mean anything. They have to have it in their hands to be able to look at it, touch it, feel it, seal it. They need to see it on the walls, on the shelf. They need to picture how it's going to be displayed in their home. If it's the jewelry, maybe have your wife wearing it, one of the necklaces in the studio. Let them try it on. One thing with our photo purses for the kids sessions, the moms are always wanting to pick those up and put them on. Oh, this feels nice. This is great. I have one mom. If you're not selling photo purses, you're losing out. Not for seniors. I've never sold one. I don't even push it for a senior. I'd be so embarrassed for a senior for mom to carry her picture around in her purse. But for our children's sessions, one of our clients comes in, when I have a busy day at work, I know I cannot take that purse with me because so many people stop her and ask her about it, where she got it, what it's all about. Those are her kids. So she can't take it to work on a busy day because people are always, harassing her about where it's from. Oh my goodness. That's great for me because I get people come in all the time asking about photo purses that they saw, her girl at the bank, had it with her. And that particular lady, she's the bank manager for the entire this part of the state for one of the larger banks. So she gets around from bank to bank to bank to bank. That's a good problem to have, right? So if you're not selling photo purses, you're not getting that kind of benefit on it. We realized immediately that photo purses are not going to be one of our high ticket items. We're going to mark them up a small amount. $50 is what our markup is on just a photo purse. So you're paying $100 to $150 for a purse. My cost, I'm only marking it up $50. I want to make a little money for the time that's involved in it, but I'm looking for the back end money on the photo purse because it is an advertising. It's like those proof books that everyone wants to send and they send you business. But photo purses seriously do that. And I've never seen anybody try and scan the picture off of a photo purse. And that's just an add-on item. They have to already have purchased our collection. So let's take this second real quick and go ahead and get into the pricing structure and price list. I think this is a great time to do that. I'm going to try and come a little closer to this here. I don't know if this will work or not. Just real quick, like for our seniors, we have different sessions that we offer. Well, first of all, let's even talk about our price list. Our price list is a hardcover flush mount book that we offer here. This is the copy that stays in the studio, and there is no other printed copies that are around except for the ones that we have right here. And I do have multiple ones, and I'll show you in just a little bit. We have a flash palette flip book. It's a flash-based computer book that looks just like this. Like you click your mouse in the corner and it turns the pages in the price list. We have an online version of that that's hidden on our website. So if somebody wants the prices, we can send that stuff out to them. But they don't have to. They're not going to come in here and get a printed price list that we're going to send home with them. So this way I can change my prices here whenever I want, and then I just make the change on the online thing, and it's changed. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. I want people. We used to have all of our prices listed on our website, And I thought that that was important. I thought that people had, if they were going to spend the time to do the research, they wanted to find out how much we cost, and us not having it on our website was rude to them. I was a strong, strong believer in that. And then I stopped putting our prices on the website, and our averages went up. I was astonished by it. There's so many little things that you can do along the way. Projection, your averages go up. Hair and makeup, your averages go up. Selling product, your averages go up. How many times do you have to hear these things before you start to implement all of these things? Yeah, but I like it like this. It doesn't matter. If you hear somebody telling you over and over and over that this works and this raises your averages, can't you at least try it? Instead of that head trash that's keeping you from not doing it. If I had the head trash, hair and makeup wasn't going to work, people are going to complain about it, but I did it anyways, averages went up. I don't want to play, make mom cry music. This is an experience for the senior. I want them to have fun and trendy music. But I went ahead and tried it anyways, and sure as shit, averages went up. There's so many things. Projection, we used to do it on the computer screen. I don't need that, and then we did it, and averages went up. How high do you want your average? Well, first of all, do you want your averages to go up? Because if you don't, then go ahead. If you want your averages to go down, you want to work a little bit harder, make less money, no problem. Keep doing it the way you're doing it, or change some of the things. Go ahead and offer proofs again and see where your averages go. It's useless for us. So anyways, everything here is driven by time. The amount of time that I want to work, I want to make money for every hour that I work. So we have different sessions. If they pick a 30-minute session, they do have an order minimum for it. It's $369. So I know that I'm making about $1,000 an hour no matter what I do. So if I do that 30-minute session, then I'm getting paid, $369 plus the session fee and all that, and then nobody ever buys just that small $369. But I have that minimum in place so that I have it. My next one is a 1-hour session. If they do that one, they have an $879 collection minimum that they have to purchase. And it talks about our minimums that are in here. I want to have minimums in place so I don't do, if I do an 8 pose or 8 outfit photo session for them, I don't want them to be able to purchase a 3 pose package. If I shoot 8 outfits, why are you only going to buy 3? So I wasted my time shooting 5 outfits, and believe me, it is a waste of my time. And every once in a while, before we did that, we'd have people that couldn't afford to come here, that they would just, maybe they could afford that $400, but they would want the ultimate treatment here. And I wasted my time. It's not worth it for me. I know it sounds snobby and it sounds nasty, and well, maybe I could have tried to. No, if they're not going to spend more than $400, then they're going to get our smallest session. They cannot get my session that has unlimited outfits, hair and makeup, and we go to different locations, and then they're only going to buy 3 poses. And if they knew that that's all they can afford to spend and that's all they're going to invest in us, then I'm not going to do it. So we do have order minimums, and for us, I think minimums are important. Minimums, you have to be careful about the way that you approach them with people and how you tell them about that, because you might end up losing some people that were going to come here and planned on spending $700, but really might have spent $1,000, but you turned them away because they didn't, their minimum was $800, and that was a little bit more than what they thought they would have spent. So you got to be careful. That's why we have different options, so they can do a little bit smaller one if they want, or a medium, or a bigger. And then when I get them into the sales room, and after we photograph them, we have different versions of this sales book here. And then depending on whatever their minimum was, the smaller packages are not even listed in there. So if they book for a session that their minimum is $800 or $1,400, then these other 2 packages are not even listed on the price list for them. It just avoids problems for us. So they can't say, oh, I still want to just do this. Well, that's not your minimum, so it's not even in there. And we just make sure that we explain to them what their minimums are ahead of time, especially so then, like if say Dad wasn't here for when they booked the session and we went over the minimums and stuff like that, and then Dad's only here for the thing. Well, Dad's got the price list out. Well, Dad's, instead of going with the one that Mom wants to do, which might be one higher than what their minimum was, Dad's looking at the one below what their minimum was, and I don't want to have that argument with Dad. So I just don't even have that price list out for them. And it's funny, it's usually Dad's. The worst sales situation. First of all, I don't mind Dads in the sales room. I actually like them. I think that my averages are higher when Dad is in the camera room. If Dad was here for the entire session, experienced everything, he saw the slideshow, he came in, sat on the couch, cried, my average is going to be higher. If Dad comes in right at the very end when it's time to, they're just picking out the final pictures, Dad didn't see the slideshow, Dad didn't experience how cool the photo session went, how fun it was for his senior, and he's just looking at that, your sale is going to be destroyed. So either Dad is going to be here for the whole thing, or at least for the slideshow part to the end. Otherwise, I don't want him coming in at the very end after they've made those decisions. So you're like, oh, we're waiting on Dad for 15 minutes to get here. Don't start your slideshow. Go ahead and wait for the Dad. because your average is going to be higher because of it. I had one dad that they called him. He didn't watch the slideshow. Mom and the girl had already picked everything out but needed to talk to Dad. Dad came in. Dad had a budget with him. It was printed out, and it was the budget of the daughter's entire senior year. Everything laid out, dollar per dollar, how much it was going to cost for cap and gown, how much senior pictures, money was budgeted for senior pictures. Dad had $500 budgeted for senior pictures, which sounded nice to him, but their minimum order for their package was the $900. So this blew Dad's budget. All had a big argument about it and everything, and it's not my fault. Dad should have been here from the beginning, or Mom should have known what the budget was. But if you're that anal where you come in, to somewhere that you're going to do business with, and you have a spreadsheet printed out, it was like 3 pages of all this stuff for the senior year. I had never seen anything like that in my life, and I was cracking up. Actually, it was really funny to me. I'm like, wow, this guy's really anal. It was bizarre. Anyways, our packages. So once they sit down, they watch the slideshow. I told you we have about 100, 120 images in there. We don't want to introduce negativity into the sales room. So I am not going to say, let's go through and take out the pictures that you don't like. That is very, very bad. Because then you're assuming that they don't like some of their pictures. We want to assume that they like everything. We want to assume that they want to buy everything that we have to offer. That's how we need to approach it here at the studio. So when we go through, let's go through and make your selections of your very favorite images, keeping the positive energy up in the room. Then they go through, and if there's some that are similar, we help them and guide them through there. My goal is to get down to 50 pictures. I want them to narrow all of that down to 50. Why? Because 50 means I can make $4,000 really easily, or I can make $2,500 even easier with 50 pictures. If I let them narrow it down right away to 12, well, I'm limited on what I can offer them. And if the 50 pictures are their very favorites, because we went through and got rid of, everything that wasn't their absolute favorites, this is just their very best ones that they're absolutely in love with, and it's impossible to narrow it down anymore from here. Now this is where we pull out the price list. And then we're going to go through and we're going to explain all of our different collections to them. And as I go through and explain the collections to them, it's not just, here's the price list, you pick what you want to buy. And I know a lot of photographers do that. And if your price list looks like a Girl Scout cookie order form sheet, where it's like a bunch of little writing and little lines, and you got to match this with this, and this can go to here, and then you want 5 of these times, they got to start doing math and stuff like that. Screw it, that's crap. We have 6 collections that we offer for seniors. That's it, 6 collections, and then all of our other a la carte items that we'll talk about. A lot of our most popular items are built into our collections so that they can save money when they're buying a collection. So I'm going to sit down, Charles Lewis, Train of Thinking. The very first thing I'm going to do is hand them the price list and say, I'm going to go through all of these packages. I'm going to explain to you what comes in these collections. So if you want to go ahead and purchase one, you can at least get the idea of what comes in it. Or if you want to do a smaller one and you like some of our products, these are products that you can add a la carte to your collection. We do call them collections, not packages. Why? I don't know. It just sounds different. Do you guys offer packages? We have collections. It just sounds better. It's more uppity, I guess. So I'll show them with the Charles Lewis thing, the Whopper package, a price tag on something that's going to give them a freaking heart attack. They kind of look at each other and smile like, oh my goodness, what did we get into? We're not going to spend that much money, no way in the world. And then once I tell them what comes in that collection, and I hand them each and every individual piece that I'm doing, so I show them that. I go through all that with them one at a time. Kelly's in the back, Greg. Excuse me. And then, so like this package here, it has 100 graduation announcements. I pull out an announcement and I show them that. How it's a custom announcement with photographs on it and all that stuff. It has the 11 by 14 digital flush mount book. We show them the large, and sometimes if I get the feel for what's happening when when they see that price on it, if they're giggling or snickering and that's not going to be what they're going to do, well then I might kind of down talk that 11 by 14 album and make it sound like, oh, this is like our wedding album style book. Even though it has senior pictures in it, but I just throw that word out there so they're like, oh yeah, so we're not ready to prepare to do anything like that yet. But then I show them the smaller 5x7 size that comes with that too. So they get the big one and the little one. Mom gets the big one, the senior gets the little one. It comes with some of our custom framed items. They get the 16 by 20 that comes in a 20 by 24 matted frame over there as one of our upgrade options to our other framing, so that they're seeing it and they're looking at it. It comes with the 3 opening 5x7 frame just like this, so they're getting one of our products like that. It actually had, this package by the way is $38.99, so it's almost $4,000. It comes with an eclectic frame included with it as one of our bonus items. And then we show them, the item like that. It comes with, all of our packages have 3 8x10s, 12 5x7s. That's standard in all the different collections. That's just standard. And then the wallets would vary. 200 wallets in that particular collection. And we have this is some of our bonuses that this one qualifies for. So they actually get double wallets, so they get 400 wallets. So they've heard about all these different things. Oh, and it comes with the DVD movie. All the images set to music on a DVD in a hardcover case. Picture on the front, picture on the back, which I didn't realize I didn't lay out here on the table, but you've all seen those. So then I go down to the next collection. It's almost half the price. It's only $25.99. And only $2,599, my goodness. But after seeing that price, you can say that. You can say only. And it comes with a lot of the same stuff. You still get the 16 by 20. It's just not framed and matted, or it's just not matted. So you still get it framed. It's just a regular 16 by 20 like what's on the top shelf there. They still get the 100 graduation announcements. They get the DVD movie. They get 3 by 10s, 12 5 by 7s, and then they get the digital albums. So they still get 2 of them, but this time instead of the great big wedding album size, they just get 2 5 by 7s. And they can be different colors. You know, the senior wants the pink one, she can do the pink one, mom can do the black one or the brown one that matches her home. So you get 2 of those books. And the best thing about these 2 collections that we just talked about, they're all unlimited poses, so that all 50 of the pictures that are up on their screen, they can actually order from all 50. Because they can do that, at this point we don't have to narrow down anything more, and you can get everything that is your favorites here. And then it's very reasonable for them. They want to be able to purchase that. They want to be able to do that. If they go down to the next collection, it's $1,459. And my clients actually hate to purchase this collection because honestly, after what they just looked at in here, it sucks. They don't get the double wallet bonus. The last one also had 120 wallets. It would be 240. With this one, they don't get that, so they're only getting 72 wallets. So 240 wallets to 72. They only get 1 book instead of 2, and the 1 book is only the 20 individual 5 by 7 pictures on a page. It's not nearly as cool as what you see next to it there. So you're getting 2 for the price of 1 in the other collection. This comes with an 11 by 14 desktop portrait. So if they pick out, you no longer get that. You get 11 by 14. So your larger picture would be the size of this book that's right here on the table. I don't want anything in this package to make them fall in love with it. I honestly don't want them to buy the $1,459 package. And then from there, I'm going to go down and say they're looking at something smaller. I'm going to start going to some really cheesy stuff. And to most photographers, what's in this package probably sounds nice. If they've not just experienced what we went through and saw the different products and everything hanging here, if they want to be able to purchase a print on metal today with either of these unlimited pose collections, you can still do that. There's no additional charge other than just the item itself. But when they're doing here, that one was 20 poses. They had to get rid of more than half of what, if there was 50 on the screen, 20 is almost 2/3 of the pictures. Well, this one here is 8 poses. So now you got to go from 50 to 8, which if they did like an 8 pose outfit, or 8 outfit session, well, that's only 1 picture from each outfit. But there's 50 that I like up there. I got to get to 8. It's really hard. And I'm not, I'm all excited when I'm talking about and explaining about what comes in stuff on the top of this page. When I'm over here, I'm not excited about any of this to them. We're talking, it has an 8 opening folio, and I like to say it, I do it every single time when I pull it out. Remember the 8 opening folio, just like what Mom had for her senior pictures. Just like what Mom had for her senior picture. They don't want to freaking hear that. The senior doesn't want to hear it, and honestly, Mom thinks it sounds funny too. Unless there's some type of a serious financial restraint where they just can't afford to do it, well, you know what? We're going to offer payment plans for them. If you're only looking at spending $900 today on this collection here with the 8 poses, we can get you up in the one here. We can split that up into 3 payments for you, and however you want to do it. I want to get as much money as I can to support my family. 3 8 by 10s, 12 5 by 7s, and now 48 wallets. But once again, it's only from 8 poses. Our wallets come 8 up, so they're not getting wallets of every single pose there either. The next one down, 2 8 by 10s, 10 5 by 7s, 40 wallets from 5 poses. That's going to be very hard emotionally for them because they've just been through everything that we put in front of them. Cool products, amazing pictures, awesome experience, the fresh hot cookies, just everything that built up to this huge emotional thing, emotional volcano that's ready to explode, and then it's going to fizzle out with something like this. They are not going to let you do that. It's just not going to happen. This smallest pet collection here, we probably sold, I'm sure I could count them on one hand last year, the number of clients that spent under $500 here at the studio. It just doesn't happen. It has to do with the photography style, the presentation, the way that we run our business, and the way that we handle things here in the sales room. Do I have clients that call me later and be like, oh, I spent too much money, Every once in a while, and there's only one that's coming to mind right now, that a mom that called, that bought the $2,500 collection, called me and said, I have to, the next day, I have to go with a smaller collection. If I don't, me and my husband are going to get divorced, and just everything exploded into this big, huge fight when she got home or whatever. So that's fine. I'll let her do whatever she needs to do. This is not, I'm not twisting their arm. They're always happy with what they end up purchasing at the end, but we just need to sometimes guide them to where we want them to be. It's not backhanded or rude or anything like that to try and sell. That's what I'm here for, is to try and sell. I'm a business. They want to be a client of mine. They want to do business with me. I need to charge money for it, and I need to offer them things that are different and unique and creative that they can spend their money on. Once again, 5x7s, 8x10s, and wallets, you're limited to how much money that you can get. One thing too is I didn't mention, we have drinks that are out for them. They're cold drinks on ice, bottled ice, like Crush, strawberry or grapes, IBC root beers. I really like the glass bottle stuff more than I do, I don't want to give them a can or just give them like a glass with ice that I fill in out of a 2-liter plastic bottle. I'm not going to do that. You can have like a root beer keg on tap here if you want for the kids. That's really fun for them. They really enjoy that. Just go to your local liquor store and you can order a keg, but instead of beer, it's root beer that's in there, and it's very, very good root beer. It's great for your parties and stuff too, when you have like open houses and things like that. The kids just like that. Even like a church group, when the kids get together, we would get the kegs of root beer because it was fun for them to do. And the root beer is a really, really good root beer. The next thing that we'll do, even if they do decide to go with one of the smaller collections, we're going to talk about all the items that came in the collections, about how they are available a la carte. The a la carte pricing is a little bit more. The flush mount digital book is $900 on its own for a 5x7 one. So if they were looking at doing that $1,459 package, but they wanted to add, it'll have one album, they want to get the two. If they add the $900 one, it is actually cheaper to go ahead and do the $2,500 package and get two of the nicer books instead of just one, instead of adding one a la carte. We have bonus structures. The fashion collection that's $1,459, we have a bonus level that's $1,500. So if they do this one and then they add something else a la carte that's going to get them up over the $1,500, well then they qualify for a bonus item. So our bonuses are structured to, if they do this one, they got to add at least one more thing, be it like a 8x10 or a framed item or something that's going to get them up to that next bonus where they can go ahead and get something that's for free that we offer. If it's a matter of spending, here it's it's less than $50, it's 40 whatever dollars more, they go ahead and pay it, and then they get something else for free. The value is there for them. And value is a word, I haven't even mentioned the word value once yet. Value is what's all about what we do here in the sales room and what we create at our studio. You're offering, the more value that you give, and I don't mean value as in discounted money, I mean value in what you have to offer them. I once heard a photographer telling a story about how one of his seniors was killed in a car accident and how much value mom had put on his pictures and came, they come in, it just means so much more to them. So pictures, what we do here is so much more than just giving them just an image on a piece of paper. We're giving them the whole experience. I had one of our seniors, Marvis from last year, he was one of our models. His dad, and one of the few times, I can't even remember if maybe 2 or 3 times I've ever had a dad come in for a modeling session. But Marvis's dad came in with him for his entire session. We did indoor, we did outdoor stuff, just laughed and had a great time. And this was his junior year, this was his modeling session. And the summer between his junior year to his senior year, Marvis's dad passed away of a heart attack. And Marvis came to me and just told me about how much fun it was that day that he spent together here with his dad at the studio. That's powerful. So it wasn't just the pictures, but it was the memories that we created on the experience, what it was all about, getting them to show their real personality, capturing that. Kids nowadays are so much fun. They're into so many different things. We want to incorporate all those things. We don't do the cheesy, seniors on big giant numbers. We don't do that stuff anymore. For us, that's kind of old school because it's more about showing who the kids are, what they like. But I've let them bring in their own, if they bring in props or something that they want to use. And they usually do cool, like I had the one girl, she brought in the hurdle. She's in track, she does the hurdles. So she actually bought a hurdle in. We did all kinds of cool pictures with just the big hurdle in there. Instead of all of her, she also had 950 ribbons that she won for track. Do they not give trophies for track? Now that I think about it, all the track kids always have tons of ribbons. And that's not, you can have them lay down and all the ribbons, but that's not very fun. But bringing in the hurdle was really cool. Or doing something neat with the track shoes and stuff. So the whole sales experience, and use the word experience because that's what it is. Everything is adding value to what they're getting. The experience is adding the value, the experience itself, the products that you offer, the way that you offer them the products, the way that you mention to them about the things that they can purchase. and they have to know that you have it available for sale. And then once they see it, touch it, feel it, experience it, they're going to want to buy it. They're going to want to spend more money with you. And it is all about making more money. If you can maximize your sale on every client, at the end of the year, you're going to work just as hard as you did with the same number of clients. Again, has nothing to do with your marketing, which is you're probably going to get more clients because these cool products that you're offering and selling are going to get shown around, and people are going to want to come to you because of those products. So your marketing budget could probably go down. You're going to get more clients. You're going to make more money per client. You're going to be happier. Money doesn't buy you happiness. Clearly, it doesn't, and you'll learn that if you haven't learned that already. But money can make your life a little bit easier so that you can enjoy the other things that make your life a little bit happier, like time with your kids and things like that too. So I work really hard in this room and all over in my studio to try and make more money. So when the client walks in the door, they're seeing 30 by 40s on the wall. I'm not worried about that for senior pictures, but for our family pictures, absolutely. And when I reset this for a family sale, a 30 by 40 family picture comes in here on the wall. When I reset it for a children's sale, all these pictures that you see right now that are seniors come out of here, and we have gallery wraps of the children's, we have the children's albums, we have frames like this with children's pictures, the multi-image frames with children's stuff. All of that is here because I want the photo purses and the jewelry go on the table. Do that again. I want them to see what we have to offer, and then I don't want them to be distracted by other things. Yeah, they're still going to see some senior pictures out in the lobby area when they walk in, because I need to plant the seeds for that. So when they're thinking about coming in for senior pictures for their kids, they know how cool our senior stuff is. The metal prints for the kids, the gallery wraps, the multi-image gallery wraps that spell out the baby's name with the pictures of the baby on it. We want them to see those things and want them for that. So we need to help them visualize what they're going to purchase, and maybe that's a good way to describe what's going to happen in the sales room. I'm not sure what I'm leaving out right now, but we work through the sales process from start to finish, and sometimes the sales process starts on that first initial phone call. So when they call in and you're talking to them about your sessions, we try to entice people to come into the studio so that we could go ahead and book the session that way. That way they physically walk in. Once I get them in the door, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're going to be a client of mine. They're not going to walk in the door here and not be amazed by the way things look and the pictures and the beautiful, we have some of our frames, our costs are over $1,000 each. They're out here on the walls in the lobby. We want them to see that stuff and how nice and fine it is. They know it's going to be expensive. They get that impression right away. This is going to cost a lot of money. We're going to show them the price list, and then depending on what their impression of a lot of money is, that might be a different number than what I think is a lot of money or what you think is a lot of money. So don't prejudge them by that. And we actually have it's our own little Cash for Clunkers program. But when we see a client pull up and they don't have such a nice car, that's actually usually a really good order for us. And when you have the client that pulls up, some of our clients have Bentleys. If they pull up in a Bentley, our average is probably going to be half of what it usually is for that client. I don't know if it's just because they spend so much money on other things like cars. I don't know what it is, but the crappier the car, usually the higher the order. The nicer the car, the lower the order. So that's opposite of the way you might prejudge somebody. And we still don't try to prejudge those people, because I know if they're driving a Bentley, that I should be able to sell them. They should be physically capable of purchasing everything that we have here to offer. So I don't hold back, but I treat everybody the same. And even if you did sign up for that 2-pose thing, and I narrowed it down, well, maybe you only shot 50 pictures, but you narrowed it down to 35, I'm still going to explain those bigger packages, those bigger collections, and get you to purchase those or think about going with those. I want to sell stuff to everybody. If they come in, the mom and dad think that they want, like I said at the beginning, they just want 8x10s, 5x7s, and wallets. It's only because they don't know all the other cool things that our industry has to offer now. Things that weren't available when they did their senior pictures. This is all new to them. I mean, DVDs weren't even invented when they graduated high school. I don't even think CDs were. Maybe they just come out. But there's just so much more that we can offer. And when we say the word album to them, they probably think, oh, wedding album. This will be like our wedding album. Nothing that we offer here is really like a wedding album, especially not like one that they would have had 20 years ago. Find the products that you want to sell, that you want to push, get them printed, get the samples up in there, and then just use, keep the positive energy up in the sales room. Mention the products while you're photographing. If you can, send them out some literature ahead of time, feel free to do that. Talk about gift certificates and things like that. What kind of sales? What is your average? Do you even know what your goals are for your sales averages? If you haven't figured it out, I recommend that you sit down for a day, and if you're slower right now in January, it's a good time to do it. But sit down and write out, figure out what your averages are, figure out what they are per product. So if you photograph the 3-hour session, what is your average? And then your 2-hour session, what is your average for that? your 30-minute session, what is your average for that? If you want to break it down, by which school the kids go to, you can figure out what your average is per school, at least for like your main. Most of us have like 5 or 6 main schools that we get most of our kids from. Figure out what your averages are for those, and then for the other schools, where is your highest averages coming, or where are your highest averages coming from? And maybe you can increase your marketing in those particular schools to do that. We have our model program. We're really well known for what we do with high school models, and we're getting ready to give a program at Sync coming up in a couple of weeks, all about our models, and we're going to try and videotape that and make it available too, just because we've got so much new stuff that we added to our model program. We've got some new things that we're working on right now that we're seeing great successes with that are just completely out-of-the-box ideas. So we'll talk about some of that stuff too in that program that it's going to be available later. This sales training one, though, this is something that we're doing. I know that if you read our blog or you know about us, we do a goal setting is a big thing for us. And we set one of our goals this year to donate $100,000 to charity. And this is the first step, actually our second step towards that. We're identifying a different person every month or a different charity every month that we're going to donate to. And the first day sales of this, this is going to be available as a webinar. The first day sales of this, 100% of the sales are getting donated. This is going to be for January. It's going to go to little AJ Marks. And he's been battling brain cancer, and his family is going to have medical bills forever. And we're just trying to help them out. He's the son of another local Indiana photographer here. It's kind of a, well, you can read about it. There's information online, but if you purchase this on the first day, otherwise a portion of whatever you purchase today, even if it wasn't the first day that it's available, is going to be donated to AJ also. So this is just us trying to give back. I know that some of the information that I'm giving you here is a little bit kind of scattered, but it's all good information. And if I had to like kind of lay out everything and say what are some of the most important steps that you could do, number one would be to do projection, and not just with the TV. Get it into a room, a darker room, surround sound music, nice audio, and use that slow make mom cry. And we use A to B fades. Simple A, picture A, couple seconds, 3 seconds, and then it fades into picture B. And then it's for a few seconds, and then it fades, and it goes into picture 3. And that is much more emotional than some of that, like I used to use Animoto. I would never use it for a sales session, but I mean Animoto is just like picture, picture, boom, boom, this one's upside down, zoom in on the crotch, come back. That's just crazy. You can't get them into that emotional state of buying when they have something like that that's going on in front of them. It's not good for buying. So while you might want to use a little slideshow like that as a marketing teaser or something like that, that's great. But it's not going to happen in my sales room. My sales room, you are in control of your sales room. Don't ever let your clients get in control of the sales room. If you got parents that are fighting, that is not going to be a good situation for you. You're not going to come out in the end. Don't let it ever get to that. Find objections. This is, I almost didn't even mention this. Your packages are not set in stone, okay? So you can change this stuff around anytime that you want. So like we used to offer a 20 by 24 in this larger collection. Well, now we do a 20 by 24 frame that has a 16 by 20 in it. Because a 20 by 24 was a block that people would tell us all the time, well, I don't need that package because I don't need a 20 by 24. Okay? So now it's not there. Well, we offer a 16 by 20 that's framed and matted. If they want to upgrade it to a 20 by 24, I will get rid of the framing and the matting on that and let them have a 20 by 24 in that collection there. It's just a small upgrade fee to do that. But the 20 by 24 was the block that people said, hey, let's put the brakes on right there. I don't need this because of that. Do you have those things in some of your collections? Do you have things that people are objecting to that they're not buying that collection because something is making them put the brakes on? And then find those things, identify them, and change them into something else, or remove them, or give them a this or that option in that collection. You can have this or that, and I would put it in the writing in there. But don't make your price list too long. Okay, this thing right here, it is 10 pages. Several of the pages are just pictures, but there's lots of other little things that are here. But nobody in their right mind is going to sit down and flip through this book and read. Even another photographer, if they came into my studio, they're going to look at like 5 or 6 different things. They're going to look at a couple of the collections. They're going to see how much I charge for an 8 by 10, which our 8 by 10 price here at the studio is $69. I don't care if you know that. That is only added a la carte after a collection purchase. Okay, you cannot just come in here and purchase just an 8 by 10. Otherwise, you're purchasing our $369 collection, which does not include an 8 by 10, by the way. It's 6 5x7s and 24 wallets. So if you wanted just an 8 by 10, you got to do that plus the $69. You're over $400 just for that first 8 by 10. But no photographer is even going to look at this thing. Okay, so I don't expect the client to, but if there's something that they want to bring up, or if they ask me about a product, I want to be able to flip to the page and say, yeah, well, you can, it either comes in that collection, or you can add it here. Like, here's some of our multi-image items, our 9-opening square, our eclectic, and we show them samples in ProSelect. Your artist suggestions are a huge selling point for you. If you're not doing that, print up a sheet of a couple of different things that you think that they should purchase, and then have that ready for them, and have that built into your ProSelect slideshow at the very end. We do use the ProSelect software. I love that software because we can pre-touch our actions with that through Photoshop. It imports them into Photoshop and brings them back into the program very, very, very fast. It lets you show the pictures, side by side, or 4 up, or 6 up, or 8 up. It lets us do our image, we load our frames, our multi-image items in there, and we can just lay them out in that software so they can view exactly what it looks like. We do everything either black matte or white matte here, and then if they want something different, we do have the one display that we would show them that's something that's different, and then anything can be custom from there on, but we just want to make the choices easy. White matte, black matte. Which would you prefer? White frame, black frame. And then, like all of our framing, it probably looks a little cluttered in here right now because we have a lot of senior products that we sell, but I think compared to a lot of photographer studios, it's not cluttered at all. Sales secret tip number 101 about framing. You see our screen here with the curtains on it, so it's like movie theater style presentation. All of our custom framing options are back behind the curtains. So I can pull off any molding. If they're interested in seeing a molding, we'll talk about it, we'll bring it out. But that way they're not seeing, you walk into a photographer studio and they got all this beautiful decor, and then they have a wall that's just cluttered, a cluster, I almost said a bad word, a cluster of miscellaneous moldings, framing corner samples. It just looks tacky and disgusting and nasty, and it takes away from all the ambience that the ambience that you have going on in the studio. It just takes away from it because you just see all this crap. So we want crap that's all around, but it's only crap that they can buy. I don't want little frame corners just cluttering up the place. Let me think for a second what else I'm trying to talk to you about, because I want to make you more money in the end. Obviously we're doing this for a good thing, but I want you to be able to absorb the information and take it in, make some changes. Make sure you identify the things that I said in your collections that are stopping you from making money. Raise your prices. What are you selling the most of, and why are you selling it? Maybe that's something, if you're selling something a la carte a lot, maybe that needs to go into one of your collections so that you can raise your averages. It is all about raising averages. So, do you have a bonus structure in place that entices people to spend more money? Do you have that? If you don't, you're losing out there on being able to raise all of your averages, probably at least $100 by doing that. Hair and makeup I talked about. For seniors, you're going to make more money. Even for children's sessions, we do it for our maternity now too. Hair and makeup. A mom that's 7.5 months pregnant enjoys going to the hair salon and getting primped and prodded and beautified. She loves that, and she's going to look better than if she would have done it herself. Especially if she has like a 2-year-old kid coming with her for the maternity session. She's never going to come in looking as good as what I can get the hair salon to do for her. And if you want to make it elegant and glamorous, let's have them do an updo on her today. Hair and makeup makes you more money. End result. Even for your children's stuff, if you have a professional hairstylist for the little kids, moms don't have time to do all that stuff. It's going to make the pictures look better, and then if the pictures look better, they're going to spend more money. It ought to be illegal that it's so simple to get higher averages, but most photographers don't do all the right things. Giving them a proof book and sending them home with proofs does not do anything except allow them to go home, and even if they're not scanning it, it gives them more time to think things over and to mull over it and say, I really don't need that size picture for here. I really don't need an 8x10 for grandma because she's going to be moving in with us next year. And all these kinds of things that come up later that are, that you could have sold, your product to. Let me think. We do have some sales chapters in our different books. We have the Anatomy of Cool book and the Bling Bling book. Both have a lot of sales information. Some of it I covered here today, but obviously not all of it. You got to know what your averages are if you want them to go up. You got to set some goals for yourself so you can hold yourself accountable for it, so that you can purposely try, put effort, steps into place to raise your averages. The emotional music, the projection, the products, not sabotaging your own sale by reaching a certain dollar amount. Those are all really good tips for you to think about and to work on changing for your studio. A projector, if you think you can't afford to buy one, I would tell you that you can't afford to not have one in your studio. And I know some of my friends do the projection with the TV, and I had them here and I was talking to them and told them, you know, it's not the same experience. And trust me, please, if you're going to believe me, one thing that I tell you, if you have a projector with a real projector, the experience is so much greater. But you can't have it just, you know, don't just put it in your camera room. You got to, you know, just take one room and develop it. If I was going to design a new studio today, my sales room would probably be twice as big as my camera room, because this room truly is the room where I make the most money, or at least the most effect out of our money. Our room, yeah, we have these, it probably looks a little funny on the video color, but this is almost like a terracotta, a dark, it's like a caramel terracotta color. It's really rich and warm and inviting. We do have the browns and the blues that go together in here, so we've got like the teal leather couch and some different, so it's kind of hip funky with the bean-shaped table and all that stuff. But it is warm and it's inviting and it's comfortable, and that is the most comfortable sofa that you will ever sit on in your life. Our sofa is also, it's designed, it's like a bench seat type one, so there's no arms on the end of it, so it holds a lot of people, so we can get the mom, the dad, the senior, the boyfriend, whatever, all kind of snuggled up together on that couch. There's other chairs. There's a leather chair here and another chair that's back in the corner. They can sit there. We can fit a lot of people. You know, we've had like a group of 17 in here watching a viewing one time. We do our sales immediately after here. I don't know that that really matters. The way that our workflow goes, you know, we photograph, our images transfer wirelessly directly into the server here. While I'm photographing, my wife is grabbing her favorite images, throwing them into ProSelect, pre-touching them. 5 minutes after the photo session, they come in here, they sit down, you know, drinks, the hot cookies, the movie's getting ready to start. The excitement level is through the roof at that point. Some photographers are like, oh, everybody's so wiped out after my session that they would never want to sit and go through a sales session. Bull crap, okay? They are so excited, the anticipation level is never going to be higher than the minute right then when they get to walk in and, can we do it now, can we do it now, can we do it now, and it's ready. If they go home, then it's not as much, and the next day and the next week, yeah, they're still excited to see their pictures, but I've had it a few times where they couldn't do the sales session right afterwards, and they come back like a week later to do it. The emotional level that's going on in the room is 50% of what it is when we do it the same day. So don't let the head trash tell you, and it might be too hard for you to do it. Maybe you can do it the next day, but the sooner that you do it, I think that it is the better. And then you don't have other things that come up, like, you know, they can't go home and then something happened. You know, the furnace went out, and now they, you know, the money they were going to spend on senior pictures got spent on the new furnace, or you know, things come up in everyday life. So I would rather have it, you know, let's get it done now. I don't have to worry about it anymore. That's just the way that we do it, and it works great for us. All of our pictures that you ever see us that are on the website, that's all just our pre-touch action that we do. You know, we don't spend more than 2 minutes on the image for Photoshop. We don't have a ton of work. We're one of the higher volume studios in the area here. I don't know anybody that photographs as many seniors as we do here, and just have one photographer anywhere. I mean, maybe they're out there, but I'm not aware of them. And our work is, you know, we're top award-winning photographers. So our work is very good, it's technically good, and then our sales and our business practices are so different and out of the box. It makes it easy for us to succeed in the area here. And there's a lot of photographers. We've got studios a mile down the road, a mile down the road, a mile down the road, whichever way you point, they're all here. And that's physical studios, not including all the people that do it out of their homes and stuff too. So we're able to grow and expand, and we try new things and offer new things and offering new products. I know at the beginning I mentioned that. We're always on the lookout. That's why going to these trade shows every year and finding what the vendors are offering. So, you know, 2 years ago we did not have prints on metal. That came out last year. That is hot. The kids want that. They want to buy it. It's unique. It's different. They want to have stuff hanging on their walls on chains. That sounds dirty. But they want stuff like that because it's different. You know, like the Twilight stuff. So whatever's hot and popular in pop culture, have the pictures that are there, you know, 24 by 30s on the wall. We want to sell 20 by 24s. It's always one size smaller than what you display. But like we have 30 by 40s out there, and they're of seniors. People just don't want, most clients don't want that. It's too big for just one person, especially because their head is 5 times bigger than the life size if it's a headshot, and if it's a full body shot, they're still bigger than they are in real life, and it just gets slightly creepy to me. I would rather sell my 30 by 40s, like I said, of family pictures. I would rather sell multi-image frames, other things that make up, you know, maybe the same amount of dollar amount investment as a 30 by 40. I would just prefer to sell other items, and for me, selling those other items comes easier. You know, selling a $900 book is much easier to me than selling a 30 by 40 for $900. It's just easier. And I think it's easier because it's something that people can see themselves having or taking ownership of, as opposed to just that one big ginormous picture. And that's probably my own head trash. Maybe I'm holding myself back there. Honestly, I don't like to sell a 30 by 40. It's a hassle for us to do that. I would rather sell something that's easier like that. We don't have framing bags that are 30 by 40s that are framed you could go into. So I kind of feel like an idiot. Which we just got a new vendor for those though. I think they're 36 by 46 bag that we just ordered. So I mean, we're putting things in place too, and nobody's perfect. So I don't think that I say that everything that I do works every single time, because it doesn't. But we are able to have high averages, and because we sell a lot of products, and because we don't shoot ourselves in the foot. I don't have that dollar amount in my head where I shut down the sale, because I used to have that, and all the time I would shut it down and then start giving stuff away for free. We tried to have my wife in here to do sales before, and that didn't work as good because I was the one that spent the time with them photographing them. And then when they had a different salesperson, well, I wonder what the photographer would think. Or like if I popped my head in the room, my wife was trying to tell them like, this picture is better and this is the one they should do for their whatever, their wall portrait. And they're like in between, and then I come in and I say this exact same thing my wife said. They trust my opinion more because I was their photographer. So for us, and this whole sales process that I just talked about, from $0 to $5,000 in the sales room is 45 minutes to an hour. Very rarely does a sales session in here. That's including viewing time of the slideshow, narrowing it down to their pictures, and picking out their products. Almost never does that go over an hour. Maybe 5% of the time it goes over an hour. Because we take charge in here. We're the ones that are, we're showing the pictures, we're helping them, pick out their favorites, we're helping them narrow it down, we're going to go through the collection, how much money are they going to spend, which one they're looking at doing. Once they say, this is what I want, I don't need to go down and explain the other collections to them. So if we know they're not looking, there's no way they're going to go with 8 poses. I don't even need to go through those other ones if they're even available to them. It's just, you're in charge of what goes on in here, and take the leadership role and get it done and maximize your sales. I can never think. Marketing has a lot to do with it too. So when people see your products out there in the community, your different displays or your ads, they should feature some of your different products that you want to be able to sell. And I hope that, if there's anything that you get out of this, it's some ideas to increase your averages. Because we're not even talking, and maybe next month, maybe we'll do like a marketing webinar for a charity for next month. We have 3 little kids with cancer that we're going to be supporting for January, February, March. I don't have any of the other months right now set up after that. But our goal of raising $100,000 for charity this year is I think it's a great goal, but it's had a lot of effect on me, on making me want to work for it. And some of my friends are like, oh, you're never going to be able to do that. Why would you, some photographers are like, I don't even have $100,000 in sales. How I can't believe you're setting a goal that's more than my sales for my studio. But if you truly want to do something and you believe in something, you can do it. Yes, I'm going to have to work a little harder to be able to donate that kind of money. And this is the second effort that we're doing towards that. Our Christmas Day bonus webinar that we sent out, we made that available for our charity fundraising also. So we have lots of other things that we're going to do. We just donated. We have a silent auction that's going on right now. Depending on when you watch this, it's over January 15th for one of our in-studio workshops, and 100% of that donation is going towards AJ's charity this month too. So we're just finding all kinds of extra things that we can put together and offer and try and help raise money for a good cause. And it'll be a life-changing experience for you. So if I would challenge you that, since you're going to be making all this, more money because your sales stuff that you're learning here, you're going to take those things and invest in them and be able to make more money and give back to something else like that. So I would challenge you to try and set your own personal goal like that. You'll feel a heck of a lot better about yourself, and I'm going to get choked up. Your life is going to be so much more worth living. You're going to get so much more out of life. And in photography, we get tied up in our own little world. We get caught up in sometimes the not so important real life things. So I would just recommend to you to set yourself some goals like that, and you will really get something more back out of that for doing that. So keep an eye out for our stuff that we're going to be doing every month. It's not always going to be a webinar. Some of it will be different things that we're going to do. But we always are going to have something ongoing. Some of our, we're doing session fees discounted here at the studio that are going towards charity stuff too. So a lot of different things like that. So I hope you enjoyed the program. Real quick, I just wanted to show you a setup, the way we do the room for a children's sales session. I know that I had mentioned that earlier, so we changed the room all around. So the pictures all go different. that are on display on the walls. We have the 20. Let's see if I can do this nicely like that. So the top shelf here has a 16 by 20 image and a 20 by 24 frame there. An 11 by 14 on the easel mate frame goes there, the little boy, the rock star dude right there. And then the table, we have a gallery wrap over there in the corner, which I'll show you in a second. We got the different children's albums, the jewelry, the bracelets, the photo purses, the multi-image framed items. All that stuff goes on display. Just realized one was missing, so I had to walk away for a second. This is our 3-up, 1 5x7, 2 4x5s, multi-image frame. This kind of stuff is really easy to sell as either a desktop or not. Photo purses, and we do show them. We allow them to do like 2 different sizes, and we have different styles of purses that they can choose from. Our different albums, we have the the flesh mount books with the multi-images for the kids too. Same thing with the small little frames that our framing company offers for us. We've got different little things like that they can choose from. I mean, cocky is that, but once they come in and they see that. Same thing for maternity. When we do a maternity session, we leave a lot of the newborn baby stuff out and the baby stuff because I want them to see that. Because I want them to envision it and purchase it. Gallery wrap. Obviously, you all do these, but it's an easy sell if they see it and they want something different. The gallery wrap display out there with the kids' names spelled on it are really, really cool. Here's another 3 opening. This is a floating frame. Newborn baby, mom baby. This kind of stuff is really easy to sell, but it's hard to sell off of just a price list. If they just see the $475 price tag for that without actually seeing the picture itself, it's harder for you to sell. And once again, this will just kind of be a setup for children's. So we want to have the products that we want to sell for the kids available for them to see, touch, feel, smell, taste, and then just go from there. And then we've got new products that we're just ordering. The new jewelry from H&H, I really like that, and different things like that.